So just who is Sarah Palin? Well, former beauty queen and runner-up in the Miss Alaska contest, a star point guard who earned the nickname Sarah Barracuda, a sometime sports reporter who wanted to be on ESPN until she realized she would have to move from Alaska to Bristol, Connecticut. She married her high school sweetheart, Todd. They have 5 kids, eldest son, Track. Born during that athletic season. He is headed to Iraq on, wait for it, 9/11. Their daughters, Bristol, Willow, and Piper, and I'm wondering if Bristol and the ESPN thing are a coincidence. She also has a son born prematurely 4 months ago, Trig Paxson Van Palin, who has Down's syndrome. She started in the PTA, was elected to the city council, then mayor of her hometown, then governor 2 years ago. She says she is anti-corruption, anti-spending, pro-accountability, pro-life, pro-drilling in Anwar, pro-taking the polar bear off the endangered species list, and does not believe global warming is man-made. She was pro-Senator Stevens' bridge to nowhere before she was against it. She's also the most popular governor in the country, according to the polls. Approval ratings in Alaska of over 90%. I'm joined now by our own Rachel Maddow, whose new 9 p.m. Eastern show premieres here a week from Monday. Tick, tick, tick. Good evening.
Thanks, Keith. Hi.
Anything I missed on the Sarah Palin biography here?
You did a pretty comprehensive job, given that she's received all of 5 seconds of national reporters' attention in her political life thus far. The only things I could add are that we know she enjoys moose as her favorite meat product. We know that her husband is part Alaska Native. He's part Eskimo, which is neat. And I think, as you mentioned right at the top there, we now know that both John McCain's mate, Cindy McCain, and his running mate, Sarah Palin, are beauty pageant ladies, which may tell us something that we didn't know before about what John McCain likes in women. So we don't know very much about Governor Palin. What we do know is very colorful and fun to talk about, but she's basically been a human interest story in terms of the political press in this country thus far.
You heard the comment just there that she made today in Ohio, that she said no thanks to Congress on the Stevens Bridge to nowhere. But in 2006, one of her spokesmen, I guess in Alaska, her spokesman, told the Associated Press that she had supported the bridge. So, I mean, she just jumps into this national spotlight, complete with the bridge to nowhere attached to her. I mean, is she the bridge to nowhere?
Yeah, this is very awkward because she is out there in her, I'm the new running mate speech, her debut on the national stage, bringing up that bridge to nowhere issue. And I went and looked it up in the Anchorage Daily News from 2006. She was asked point blank about funding for that bridge, and she said, yes, I would like to see Alaska's infrastructure projects built sooner rather than later. The window is now, while our congressional delegation is in a strong position to assist. So as recently as 2 years ago, she was not only in favor of the bridge to nowhere, which she's now saying she wasn't, but she was also in favor of it on the basis of the fact that Alaska's congressional delegation was in a position that they could do it through earmarks. This is an embarrassing position to have taken, not only because of the flip-flop, but because they're trying to market her as a fiscal conservative who stood up to Alaska's sort of famously corrupt Republican politicians.
And the investigation that's going on of the governor in Alaska, this is really a non-starter for her critics, as juicy as it might seem on the surface, right? I mean, she may have fired the guy who didn't fire the trooper who had been married to her sister, but the guy was beating up the sister and tasering their 11-year-old kid. I mean, no woman would see that and would not give her a round of applause, and the same goes for a lot of men, too. That's a non-starter politically, right? Well,
I mean, if what she says about the trooper is true, I want to go up there and taser the guy myself, absolutely. But it should be noted that it was the state legislative council that decided to proceed with this investigation against her, and that's a bipartisan group. It's both Democrats and Republicans, state senators and state reps. They not only decided that this warranted investigation, her behavior in this, but that they would spend $100,000 of state funds to appoint an independent investigator to look into it. They're now looking to hurry up her deposition in this case. And so while from the outset, what we know about the details of this seem like this probably isn't something that's going to be easily politicized, at least within Alaska, in a bipartisan way, they thought her conduct was serious enough. Her alleged conduct was serious enough here that they wanted to spend some good money going after her on this.
Last point, Rachel, this poach Hillary voters idea, the timing, the fact that Governor Palin said in March that Senator Clinton was, quote, whining, plus that interesting historical tidbit that the year Jerry Ferraro ran for VP, 56% of women voted against her and Mondale. Did the Republican ticket potentially today not gain women voters but have a net loss of women voters?
Yeah, to now have the McCain campaign be able to say, our former national co-chair, chief economic advisor, thinks we are a nation of whiners, and our vice presidential pick thinks specifically that Hillary Clinton herself is an insufferable whiner. Now women flock to us. It's a little hard to take. I honestly, in the big picture, Keith, I think this is a Dan Quayle choice. I think that it's great to have a woman on the ticket, but I think Sarah Palin, as this specific woman on the ticket, is a bit of a laugh-out-loud choice.
You know, what happened to that eBay lady? We serve no wine before it's time. Rachel Maddow of Air America, soon to be following in the hour following this newscast. 10 days. Thanks, Rachel. Have a good weekend. We'll see you in St. Paul.
Thanks, Keith.